Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Thursday, the 8th of July, comes to you from London. And quite a lot of red on the screen this morning, so we'll just take a quick look at what's going on in markets. So the dollar continues its rise. It's just pulled back a little bit this morning, but it's bullish on that medium term and short term time frame above the cloud. On the long-term chart, we still have work to do, but we're looking soon to a higher high, given that we've made the higher low. And we've got an upside target activated some 2.5% higher on the 60-minute chart, so that's looking good. Euro is therefore weaker against that stronger dollar, falling into medium-term bearish, and we're waiting to see if we get a new low here. We've got a new downside target, some 2.23% below, and the dollar is actually making new highs, or has been making new highs against the yen. It's falling away at the moment, so the yen is that risk-on trade, so just seeing the yen strengthening, but the fact that the dollar did make a new high is significant. Sterling sitting at 137.80 against the US dollar, just weakening slightly, and sterling against the euro 116.60. That's fairly static. We're not seeing much movement there between the UK currency and the euro. We're seeing Bitcoin falling away, down at $32,000, coming back to test support. A little bit worrying that we're seeing that all the time. Downside targets there, and if we look at the S&P 500 index, it was actually up overnight, up 1/3%. So we are seeing markets edging higher, but there is a change of sentiment coming today. We're seeing the S&P future, the mini down 8.8%, and the Nasdaq future down 0.8%. So markets will open lower today, and we're seeing a tick up in the VIX volatility, so that's quite interesting. We're seeing that up 15% to 18, so markets more fearful. FTSE future down 1.2%, the DAX in Germany down 1.2%, European markets falling quite heavily, the CAC 40 down 1.6% in Paris. Japan was actually down just under 1%, and the Hang Seng down nearly 3% as fears over Chinese control persist in Hong Kong. We're seeing the Sensex down 2/3%. The Aussie market bucked the trend up 0.2%, but overall global equities have fallen away. We'll look at the energy mix in a minute, but looking at sugar, we're down 0.5%. Wheat and corn just holding their ground. In fact, corn up 1%. So soft commodities still looking pretty good, although we have seen a bit of a sell-off in the last few days. The long-term trend is still very much intact. Gold edging higher at $1,812. Short-term bullish above the cloud, and the medium and long-term trends bullish on all three time frames. Silver is less clear. Short-term bearish below the cloud there, but on the whole, silver still holding up on the longer-term trends. Platinum down 1/3%, palladium down 1/3%, but having recovered that big fall that we saw a few weeks ago, 10% in a day. US bond yields down 4% to 1.26%, so we're seeing a real deterioration in the bond yield, and the same with 30-year yields. So we're seeing that fall away quite significant there, and that means the German Bund future is improving. We're back to just short-term bullish there on the German Bund. That low is what we needed to watch. So big moves there. The energy mix fell heavily yesterday, and it continues this morning. Brent crude down 1.6% to $72. See, this is my daily and my 60-minute chart. Medium-term and short-term view of the market, daily, 60-minute and 1-minute. We've got downside targets. If you're trading crude oil, keep an eye on those 1-minute targets. And the same for WTI, of course. We're seeing the lower there. US nat gas falling back quite heavily as well. So we're seeing downside push there below the cloud, and coal is the one that is bucking the trend, holding on to its short-term bull trend there. Emissions have had a really tough week, down a further 3% this morning. Here we see the slide on the 60-minute chart. Downside targets here. Keep an eye on those 1-minute targets if you're trading emissions. That's where you're going to get the clues for any reversal. The long-term trends and targets are still in train, but we do have short-term downside potential. The UK future 2% lower. UK gas down 3%, and TTF Dutch gas down 2%, and German power last of all down nearly 2% as well. So the whole energy mix falling away through the clouds there on the 60-minute chart. Long-term trends intact. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.